recording or preparing to record for a vlog that's coming out, and I wanted to hop on and make this video. Unfortunately, I can't go live today, so I'm pre-recording this, but just to share some thoughts that I had as I was preparing my blog. And my entire business concept is changing. I'm shifting things around. Coffee chats are going to be probably moving over to this page, and other videos are going to be moving to my like page, and just sitting here rearranging. Last night I was up pretty late restructuring the business and how I wanted it to flow, and I had a lot of really great ideas and I was really pumped. And then I kind of had this breakthrough while I was doing all of that, and I'll tell you why. I'll share kind of the experience behind it. So since becoming a coach and having a business, I've been reading a ton of business books. That's like what I do. Is I fell in love with business in general. I've loved business for a long time. My first business venture, I was like 19, 18. And obviously it didn't work out, and I tried other things and they didn't work out. But I loved the concept of having my own business. I was really a huge fan of it. It's a great fit for me in general. So obviously I didn't stop trying when it came to figuring that out. But anyways, as I was kind of meditating on this new strategy to take my business into, and changing the way that I do certain things, and I was getting very excited because I feel that this change is going to be very positive and it's going to really help grow my business, I realized that that's something that a lot of people who get into a business don't have the patience to experience. And what I mean by that is, in this day and age where the internet is like the beast that it is, and everyone can basically make an online business if they really want to. If it's really something that calls to them, they have the capacity to start an online business and be very successful at an online business. But what I find with, especially because I mentor coaches, right? So in my particular business concept or business model, I bring on coaches to work with me that I mentor, and I spend a lot of time helping them shape and shift their visions of a business for themselves, and also shape themselves as people. Like, I don't just help them with their business, but I help them as individuals, trying to find their voice and find their confidence and figure this thing out. And something that I witness with a lot of people is that they don't have the patience to figure things out, right? And when you're an entrepreneur, when you are starting a business venture and you are jumping into this pool, the number one thing that determines someone's success in a business venture is their willingness to stick it out. That's it. It's their willingness to figure it out. It's their willingness to say, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and if X, Y, Z is not giving me the kind of results that I want, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to reevaluate, reorganize. I'm going to shift my X, my Ys, and my Zs around. I'm going to plug in a new formula, see how that goes, and rock and roll, right? And then try it out for a period of time. And then if that doesn't work the way you want, get your X, Ys, and Zs back out of there, shift them around again, plug them back in, and see how that goes, right? It takes an extraordinary amount of patience and persistence to really figure your business out, especially the first few years of a business. You have to just try and try and try new things and get creative and plug in new things and plug in and just keep going. But unfortunately, in a digital age where, number one, our attention span is pretty much shot, right? Like, no one has the attention span to watch a video that's more than 3 minutes, let alone have the kind of persistence necessary to try a business on over and over again until they figure out what works for them. And that's the thing about online business. For example, I happen to be a coach within a network of coaches who all work with the same company, right? Team Beachbody. But that doesn't mean anything, because I am a completely different individual than the other 400,000 coaches that are in the network. The things that I value, probably different than the things that they value, right? Of course, we'll have overlaps because we're in a health industry, so we all care about health and we care about fitness, but we're different. We're all different. So when you come into this business, it's not like, well, here's a formula that worked for me. It'll definitely work for you. Do that, and you're going to see all the results that I had. It doesn't work that way because you're a different person. So you take on this business and you now have to find out who you are as a coach within the network that you've been given. Find out what you really value. Find out who you really want to work with. Find out what your long-term vision is for yourself as a business and for your team as a business. You have to tailor it all to you. So it requires so much patience, right? And consistency and persistence. I was just listening to Josh Coates. He's a John Maxwell leader who he was trained under John Maxwell, and he works with a lot of Beachbody coaches. And I was listening to one of his podcasts yesterday where he talks about there's no such thing as motivation. There's just commitment. There's just dedication, right? And I loved that because it's true. It's really true. Like the people that you look at that are successful or that you admire the way their life is going, it's because they just show up and they keep going. They don't want to show up. There are so many days I wake up and I'm exhausted. My kid had a rough night. He's teething. He's angry. I haven't slept. I haven't had coffee. I haven't done any of that, but I still show up. You know why? Because it matters to me and because I'm committed to it, because I have the patience and the persistence to continue showing up, right? I didn't start that way. When I first joined as a coach, I had never had a successful run in any business. So, of course, as soon as I started to hit hardship, I started wanting to back out. As soon as I hit hardship, I was like, oh, this isn't for me. I suck at this, blah, 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 because I was hitting a limiting belief, because I was hitting an upper limit that I had placed in my life at some point of not going beyond that, because I didn't really understand that persistence was the key to this business. No one gets handed anything, you guys. No great person who started a legendary business, Steve Jobs and Apple is a freaking perfect example, fired from his own company, ended up back at his company, right? And then completely rebuilt it, right? And if you don't know the story of the iPod, it's mind-blowing. The iPod, when it came out, was like really behind other MP3 players. It wasn't even that big of a deal. In fact, the technology kind of sucked. And for the first 2, 3, 4 years, the company lost profit on that device. So you know what Steve Jobs did? He just marketed and branded the crap out of that product. So much so that it became the thing to own, even though the technology was not even as great as some of these other MP3 players. Guys, it took him 4 years to take that off the ground, to really run with that MP3 player, and now he has a freaking empire. He left behind an empire that's a brand name everybody knows. It's crazy how huge he is, right? How huge his vision was. And he had to hold on for 4 freaking years, losing profit in his company, and had to rebrand and had to rebrand and had to figure it out until he did, right? But look at what he reaped as a result, right? Patience and persistence. Patience and persistence. That is the number one key to anything. Success. If it's your health and fitness, if you just show up every single day, I don't want to work out every single day. No, some days I'm tired and I'm sore and I don't want to do it, but I just do it. I complain while I put on my shoes. I complain while I put on my shirt. I complain while I put on my sports bra, and then I push play and I freaking do it. And guess what? In 30 minutes, it's done. I'm out of there, and I'm glad that I did it, right? You just show up. If you just show up, it gets done. It's amazing, right? So if you're in your life right now and you're like, man, I just keep quitting and I just keep quitting at whatever it is, whether it's dating, marriage, weight loss, business, job, just don't quit. Just refigure that business out, right? If your marriage is struggling, figure out how to make it better. Don't wait for the other person to change. Don't sit there and be like, well, when he gets his act together or when she gets her act together, then I'm going to step up. Don't do that. Take responsibility for your relationship and decide to get your XYZs out of there, reorganize them, plug them back in, see what happens, right? Take responsibility, you guys, and be persistent. Show up. If you just don't stop, you'll make it. That's the secret to success, y'all. right? So I'll be talking a little bit more in my vlog, but I just wanted to share this message because it was so important for me. I hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy your week. Be vibrant. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.